Get ready, Chiefs Kingdom, to unleash your passion and excitement for all Chiefs content. With the up-and-coming sports media company giving you all of the Chiefs coverage. We are raising the decibels and embracing the community of Chiefs Kingdom. Elevate your fandom and join our team who loves your team. Red Kingdom Media. And after a heartbreaker and just getting back from the parking lot a lot 7 minutes ago, your Kansas City Chiefs fall to the Detroit Lions 21-20 in a game I don't think anybody saw coming. This was about as defensive of a game without the defense being good you could have possibly had. So the thought that this was going to be a shootout, Jared Goff versus Patrick Mahomes too. Yeah, we saw NFL rust and all the hype we have for our wide receivers. You know, unfortunately, this wasn't their day. So we'll have to wait it out and see how long it takes for these guys to, step up, because these are who we got. We ain't trading for DeAndre Hopkins now. That option ain't out there. So, Dale, first off, how are you doing, and what'd you think of the game?
Man, honestly, I'm okay. I wanted to come in heated and hot, but for us missing Travis Kelce and Chris Jones and not even making an excuse for it, we are very lucky to just lose by one. And how the defense played, even though in moments, the Lions offense seemed like they were really driving downfield. They definitely was utilizing that offensive line. The defense really played well, in my opinion. Honestly, the Lions offense only scored 2 times. Of course, they had one off of a pick that came off of Tony Hands. Yep. So, I mean, if you take that away, maybe we're still in the driver's seat. Maybe we still have a chance where we're probably up, just because the defense did play pretty solid. Trent McDuffie had a great game. He was able to force a fumble. And honestly, the Chiefs defense gave the offense opportunities to really capitalize and score, even after we were able to, stop them or on 4th and short, and we was on our own 48-yard line or something like that. All we had to do was drive downfield,
20 yards.
Get to the 20-yard line, get around the 20-yard line, 25, run out the clock, and then that would have been a win that we were able to sneak away with. However, it played out how it played out. I was honestly irritated with the 4th and 25 we went for it when we had 3 timeouts. We should have definitely used Tommy Townsend's leg at that point to push him back to the 5-yard line, because he has been booting it pretty much the whole game. Only had one bad punt. But honestly, Spash was down under pressure the whole game, as I expected, with the loss of Jones. So we had opportunities to win, and we just didn't capitalize. But I don't think this will happen again. I think we will find a way to figure out this drop issue soon enough. You can tell Kadarius Toney was not in it at all. Those reps that he missed throughout the entire training camp and also the preseason definitely came in hand.
And let it be said, the only guy who didn't drop a pass was Rashee Rice, who dropped 3 of them in the preseason, and we all clowned him thinking he wasn't going to do.
Yeah, he had that one drop, remember? He had that one drop. Just to put it out there, but he did catch the touchdown, so I'm happy about it. He did. He made sure to hold on to that one. But it was, man,
And I'll say some of Mahomes' throws also were kind of sailing up or sailing down a little more than they used to. I kind of accounted that as the Travis Kelce effect. You don't have to be as accurate. You're just floated over there and assume it works. And this is when you got to have some more mechanics down. I mean, when you got to hit it just in the right spot, because these receivers might not be used to having the ball come at it really fast.
And I even saw on one throw with Mahomes when Rashee Rice was coming across the middle, he was able to get in and get some yak afterwards. But you can tell when he threw it, he kind of put a lighter touch on it as well too, just to make sure it fell softly in his hands. And he was able to bring it in. We know Mahomes actually liked to zip it and get it to his guys, and let them do the rest after that. But he's going to make sure he get it to them where he can at least avoid throwing an interception. But man, I felt it coming. I honestly felt one of those tip pass coming sooner or later, and it was going to be a pick. And then next thing you know, it happens, and it happened with our number one receiver.
And without that, they thought that team looked like they could just cruise and win. Like they didn't have to do anything else besides just sit on the ball and keep trying to get possessions and points. But like that one score to tie him up at 14-all, and then Detroit causes the 3-and-out and scores right after that. Yeah, the energy shifted. It was obvious.
Definitely. And they came out early in the game as well too with that fake punt as well. They weren't fooling around. At first I was considering that desperation just due to the fact that they know what this Kansas City Chiefs team is about. But when you watch and really go through just the film and look what happened throughout the game, the Kansas City Chiefs beat themselves. And really the Lions didn't have to do much to take the game away from us. All they had to do was capitalize. They had a great run game, and they were very effective. But at moments, honestly, we had a decent run defense as well too. You had guys like Nadi who was able to step up. We had Matt Dickerson in there a lot as well too. We was coming off the edge with our DBs and being able to meet them behind the line of scrimmage to get some tackles for a loss. So we had our opportunities to really capitalize on offense, and we could have ran away from it as well too. But golly, at the end of the day, it came down to our offense and our wide receivers not dropping the ball. And honestly, we didn't lose this game because we didn't have Chris Jones or Travis Kelce. We lost the game because we weren't able to catch the ball and hold on to it. We had opportunities to do that. So
and let it be said, when your running or when your passing game was struggling, your lead rusher for this game is Patrick Mahomes. The classic Andy Reid thing. Why are we not running the ball? I literally joked in the stands. It was like 6 or 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and we start handing the ball off twice. I'm like, way to establish the run in the third quarter. The end of the game. I'm like, what are we doing here? You guys have kind of sold your hand. You're in the throwing mode. So
man, and then you got and then you put Pacheco out there as well too, which sparked one of the drives where he was really effective throughout. He was able to catch the ball on the screen. He was able to run. He was able to really hit those holes. They was really utilizing that interior offensive line, and they were doing damage. But we just needed to stay consistent. I don't know why they want to keep on doing this Blake Bell. This Blake Bell quarterback sneak. The next he hands it off to Rashee Rice for a jet sweep. Lions actually got lucky on that one. They played back the film, and the defensive tackle did actually jump early. Now, if we would have hiked the ball at that point, we could have got them. We would have had a first down at that time, and maybe we would be singing a different tune. But it didn't happen. Well,
there was a direct snap play to Clyde too that didn't pick up a first down either. So we give Andy Reid a lot of credit for being like this offensive mastermind, and he saw his team struggling and didn't commit to to make your team win. It seemed like he was still in that we're going to go down throwing mode, even if our guys ain't going to come down with it.
And honestly, I started really looking at the difference with Eric Bieniemy at offensive coordinator opposed to Matt Nagy at offensive coordinator. Just off the simple fact that I feel like EB would have got in Andy Reid head early and said, "Hey,
Run the ball.
Run the ball. We got it there. We can either run at Aiden Hutchinson where we double them up, or we can run opposite side as well too, where we in our read option style of blocking, where we going downfield, double teaming, and getting to the next level. But we had the opportunities to really utilize that, and Clyde did look really good as well. He really did look good as well. I was surprised to see him out there on the first drive as a starter. However, this is what I've been actually preaching the entire offseason. If we weren't able to trade him, he was still going to have a role in this offense regardless. Just because he's someone who's effective in the pass game as well too. You know, he has a small stature, so you know he's able to really slick through those holes and really maneuver around those defenders. But at the same time, he just knows how to read the field, but at times I just don't like how he run into the pal. You're very small. You're not going to get that much of his push. You need to really utilize your feet and then just, you know, find ways to break loose and get extra yards like that, opposed to just trying to push the pal. But he did look solid. You can see that they want him out there more because he does have more experience within the offense, and of course McKinnon as well too. But you see, we utilize him in a different way. We definitely put him out there in those passing down situations.
Yep. But if it was third down, I'm like, oh, it's the McKinnon down. That's why he's here. And I'll say, I'll respond to this one. Yeah, Sky definitely caught that and then dropped it. My section was celebrating and then saw him drop it, and we were all very upset. So, yeah, that was one of the ones that hit him dead in the hands and then decided not to catch it. And I'll say about Clyde, you know, the snaps I saw were decent enough, but man, I saw him run towards the line and wait for a hole that wasn't there when he could have cut left, and there was nobody. It was a wide lane. So Clyde has his strengths, but his rush lanes is not one of them. His ball vision is not one of them. So I don't know if we got to put, you know, Christian Okoye style, put some arrows on the ground, run this way, please.
Yeah.
But like I made that comment too. Like the O-line did fantastic. I have zero gripes. I don't know if any of them officially lost any of their snaps, but none of their names got called and Patrick never got sacked. So
I will say on NBC they were complaining a lot about Jawan Taylor. They felt like he was false starting and a little bit back more. Now,
oh boy, nope.
Yep.
We already been through this.
I wanted to bring this up. Now I want everybody to have Lane Johnson tape with the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a guy who utilizes and really works off his quick step and is able to really take advantage of the opportunity to beat that opposing edge rusher and meet them when they're trying to get past them. So honestly, in my opinion, like he just did well of watching what Humphrey was doing at the line of scrimmage with the ball. As soon as he had a quick twitch and he was about to snap, his feet was going back as well too, because Aiden Hutchinson is a dog. He is a dog. It's been times he had to maneuver throughout the entire line because he was getting irritated with Jawan Taylor. Now he beat him a couple times to where he lifted him off his feet and got him on his butt. However, he knew that Jawan Taylor was kind of cheating in a sense. He had an extra step back because he know how good he was and how elite he was as an edge rusher. So he had to really maneuver and be prepared for that. So at times you will see him go in the inside, play off that guard, and use that as advantage to actually beat the interior lineman and then get pressure up the middle, forcing Mahomes at times to probably move out the pocket. But honestly, it was multiple times throughout that game. What we didn't see last year, what we seen this year, he had a clean pocket. And then when those opposing edge rushers are coming from the outside and they're going very deep, he's utilizing that pocket, moving up. And then those interior linemen, they're able to get those deep tackles and spread them out as well, too. So Mahomes did have running lanes. However, we know what he likes to do with the ball. He likes to get it to his receivers, get it to the open guy. That way they can make a play with it. But I feel like in the moments of the second half, it felt like he wasn't trying to do what he did in the Super Bowl. It feels like he wasn't really trying to take over. He was really trying to get this offense acclimated and get them going. A lot of people was mad about that Kadarius Toney jet sweep. They was like, just throw him the ball. He need to catch the ball. I understand what Reed was doing at that point because he was trying to get him a feel of the game, get him a first down. That way, hopefully, that can get him rejuvenated, and maybe we can see some more throughout, throughout those other drives.
Put him in a position to showcase his skills and get his confidence up. And agreed. Yeah, that whole Jawan Taylor false start in Lane Johnson, the whatever you want to call him, the grandfather of O-lineman Duke Merriweather, pretty much already cleaned that conversation up. No, the refs are not going to call it when it looks so seamless. The reason it doesn't get called is because all those other times that they do it perfectly at the snap, and then the one time they might have jumped a little too soon. The refs ain't going to call that because you've shown yourself to be so quick at the snap that you're just going to get away with it. So the offensive line, again, did fantastic. And it made it so clear who the weak points on the team are right now. The guys that we were excited that they kept all 7. I mean, all of their all of their yards put together can't match a freaking Travis Kelce type of day.
Yeah.
In either the reception numbers or the yards. Your highest one was Marquez with 48 total. Most catches were 3 total catches, and they were Noah Gray or Isaiah Pacheco as a screen pass. Like he was running for his life, but not because he didn't have protection, because he honestly just lost confidence in his receivers. And we saw him take off and run for yards. That's why he was the leading rusher for the Chiefs this game. He was the main offense. Like, we don't want to see him in this Lamar Jackson type of role, but he's a dog. He's going to do whatever it takes he needs to win. And unfortunately, it looked like he knew the wide receivers were struggling. And I mean, as a leader, you want to build them up and help them, but you also have the job of being the quarterback and the leader of the team to win the game ultimately. So you ain't going to tell the guys you're playing, hey, stop sucking. It's like, I'll just, I'll do the rest of this and pick up the slack for you guys.
It's just frustrating seeing all the hype that they got all off season for them to come in the first game of the season and really just not be able to get anything going. And at times I understand that Mahomes maybe threw it a little bit behind them, or maybe underthrow it by a tad bit. However, it was always catchable, and he always made it to where they were able to make a play. We had one where he was almost about to get sacked. He threw it right to Jet McKinnon, had it hit him right in the hands, drop. That could have been a first down if you got it right in there, and then he was able to maneuver and break a tackle. We know what he's able to do when he's able to get in that second level. So at that moment, it's just watching them throughout the game. It was just crazy that we had all this hype coming in, and they weren't able to live up to it.
And the best out of the bunch, arguably, was the guy everyone wanted to cut. Justin Watson was like the only consistent guy. And of course, he's not going to get every route and every catch, but the man actually caught what threw him.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, Chiefs Kingdom doesn't want him because he's a slow white guy. Well, the dude actually catches the ball and is in the right spot. Andy Reid will showcase him the most. So,
and I feel like this was an opportunity as well too, to go ahead and get Justin Ross out there as well, especially in those opportunities where we needed someone to go up and go after the ball. Say if you were trying to get someone downfield and on a vertical route when you wanted to be at times where they had man-on-man coverage. I feel like this could have been an opportunity to showcase his skill set as well too. But he definitely has great route running ability, but his routes was very much limited throughout the entire game with the offense. I did see him out there on special teams. He was able, to get clocked through that. But, man, it's crazy how Watson was really our best receiver out there today. And when I saw that route, when we were able to convert off of that pass interference, it was like, saw last year as well, and then also in the preseason when he came back and he was able to get some reps as well too. So it's just, I mean, I knew this is why we kept him in the first place. Of course, we wanted the other wide receivers to grow and be able to really be in this offense and let them take the lead. But it's the reason why he's back on his team, and we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season.
I'll say that Richie James, he was on punt returns for most of the game, and he had that one that, they marked down by contact, but I heard a lot of the Lions fans in my section saying, show a replay, so
Yeah.
It's not just a one person problem. It seems to be a stemming issue of not being able to hold on to the ball, which is not it's not that far-fetched. I mean, the 2019 season, freaking Travis Kelce had a bunch of drops to start the season. So if this is the outlier game and there's only like 3 drops all next week, then it's a 1 week issue. But if it continues, then
Looks like Clayton hopped out for a minute. Wait for him to get back on. One moment. Okay. All right. You back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Andy Reid's gonna have to come up with something to move the ball down the field if it's gonna be this difficult. And even when Travis is back, you cannot afford to keep making it be the Travis Kelce show nonstop, or he is going to keep getting double teamed and hit over and over and over again. You can't do that to him. If you want him to be here for 5, whatever more years you can get out of him, it can't be all on Travis Kelce's shoulders. The offense cannot 100% shut down just because there's no Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, though, I don't think it was really with Travis Kelce being out today. It was really just why you're not catching the ball, why you're not able to really hold on to the ball and then bring it in. And the Kelce approach, it's not just with him about him being out there and being the only option who's able to get open and beat man-on-man coverage, or he's a reliable option for Patrick Mahomes, but he does open up the game for everyone else, which we saw today too. It seems like they were having trouble getting separation in those man-on-man coverage opportunities. They weren't able to beat that opposing defensive back. So that's where you lie in and have questions like, what is really going on? Like, are they able to get separation without us trying to dial something up for them to where we throw the opposing defense off? Can you actually be able to go out there and route a guy? Are you going to be able to really show something to where you come back and you able to really take advantage of them and really get something off, get the ball, and then get downfield? We didn't see any type of separation tonight. Now, there were moments that they were open though. But those moments, saw drops. Kadarius Toney multiple times. We saw a drop to Scott Moore as well too. We saw a drop to our running back Jet McKinney. Rasheed Rice had a drop himself, even though he caught a touchdown. So really, if we limit that,
from my memory, the most plays that didn't work or that didn't amount to anything, like after 2.5 seconds, Noah Gray was wide open a lot of the time
in the flat.
Just off to the side, somewhere towards the middle of the field, off from the sidelines. Like, just dink it down, Patrick. But by that point, he's moved on and looked at some other receivers. So they got to work on their reads, the progressions for who to throw to, and give the quick guys the quick glance, and the guys that you're more convinced they're going to actually come down with it. Give them a second look or save them towards the end.
Yeah. We got a couple comments coming in. Kelsey is getting older. Somebody else has to step up. I mean, we was hoping honestly for Jody Fortson, in my opinion, but unfortunately he hit the IR, and this is somebody who could have thrived off this game as well with Travis Kelsey being out, just because he has the capability of being a route runner as well too. And we have to remember he was a wide receiver at one point in time, but we switched him over to tight end just for health reasons and because he was having a bigger body as well. But I think we would have benefited with him being out there. But Noah Gray had his chances, like you said as well too. He had his Patrick Mahomes had his opportunity to hit him in the middle of the field, and this is somebody you could have established that connection with throughout the game because he played that Travis Kelsey role for you. So you could utilize him in that moments. We have to remember when he had that big catch and he was able to get downfield, he broke a tackle, and we was able to get to around the 30, 20-yard line. He had moments to where, okay, this is somebody I need to probably look out more for throughout these drives. And then maybe as the game goes on, we converting first downs, we moving downfield. I can try getting my wide receivers coming along as well too, who are having multiple drop passes.
Right.
At one point, maybe you could have did a couple screens with Tony. Maybe you could have did, I mean, he had short route opportunities. He had it right there.
We watched the Detroit Lions just like keep dinking it to Jamar Gibbs, and he kept picking up 5, 6, 7 yards at a time. Like, oh my God, we're gonna feature him in new ways. We're gonna throw him a swing pass, and none of the Chiefs defense is gonna tackle him until he's 10 yards down the field. So why it couldn't be a running back featured game? And to your point, if tight end is going to be so valuable and like so as such a necessary part of this team, why haven't they spent any legitimate resources at additional tight end? Noah Gray is the only one. They brought in Blake Bell as a free agent and Jody Fortson as an undrafted as a wide receiver to start. So they haven't, attempted to get depth behind Kelsey, and this is maybe one of those games that blew up in their face because they didn't realize how valuable tight ends are in an Andy Reid scheme. So if that's the case, why not stock the tight end cupboard instead of the wide receiver one?
Honestly, I'm not even mad at the tight ends this game.
Oh, me neither.
Gotta give really what you said right there when you said he was open line. He just had to pass him the ball. Blake Bell was the one who had the second touchdown for him in the game. So your tight ends were involved. You should have got them involved probably a lot more. Put them in opportunities where when you get out of the pocket, the DBs are spreading out, trying to get to those guys who are looking for open spot in the field. Noah Gray, probably that guy they're not paying attention to. Utilize him a lot more. But I will say, honestly, we probably should have invested in a wide receiver this offseason. Just get an extra guy that can come in and really solidify and help bring up these young guys as well too. Because I love the weapons we have, but you can tell it seemed like the lights was too bright for them tonight. It was too bright for them tonight. And D-Hop, he was waiting for us to give him some money as well too. He was seeing what they had. We probably could have got something done. Now, I don't, like you said earlier, we don't have that many options that we can go after. But I think the media is about to try to run with something, and we know Mike Evans has become available somewhat with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we'll see how much motion we get with that. But honestly, I'm not going crazy with that, saying that we need someone right now. Let's see what we have next Sunday against the Jaguars. Let's see if they're able to hold on to the ball. Let's see if they're able to make plays after getting those catches as well too. Let's go in. Let's come out, be 1-1, because this is the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era that he has lost a season opener. So it was coming eventually. Not to be that one. Like I said, I wanted the Chiefs go 17-0. That was already my prediction. 20-0 going to the Super Bowl, right? But at the same time, coming to this game, seeing Travis Kelsey going out late, I kind of start seeing this could be the perfect trap game for the Lions to take advantage of and win. Coming off of a Super Bowl, hopefully we don't have the hangover, but missing one of our best weapons, Chris Jones out defensively. Even though our defense showed up tonight and actually made a couple stops, we weren't able to capitalize. So now we dug ourselves a hole. We're down 0-1. We got to see what the rest of the division do on Sunday, and hopefully we're able to just come back strong and able to finish out the season, and maybe we go on a win streak from now on.
That's right. You hate to lose and you hate to start the season and you're the only team that's lost, so you officially say you're the worst team, and Detroit can keep hyping up that they're the best team, like I heard all throughout Arrowhead. So congratulations to the Detroit Lions. You guys earned it.
For real.
So
I heard they were a great fan base out there as well too. I heard a lot of them had a great time. They were coming to some tailgates. It was a lot of blue out there. I told my family a lot of them was doubting the ones that's up in Detroit. I was like, I wouldn't say nothing yet. We'll see. But man, like I think Dan Campbell is a great guy. He has a lot of respect.
Yes.
He's there. Patrick Mahomes is great. He came out of halftime. He had one of the best halftime speeches I ever heard. It wasn't any cliche. He told the truth. I know what you're about to ask me. We're doing fine. That's exactly how he said. We just gonna keep it going. He was very motivated. I like his energy. But that's a solid win for them. Hopefully that can do something for them moving forward in the NFC North, especially Aaron Rodgers, Les, who's out of there, NFC North. Maybe they can go out and maybe win the division. But I think we're going to come back strong. I'm not really mad about anything. Well, I'm mad about how some things played out. I'm definitely frustrated with the receivers. But, we have those games. Good thing is at the beginning. Hopefully they're able to get it going forward, and maybe we can go on a run and hopefully solidify ourselves being one of the best teams in the AFC again.
And I know I'm already, jumping the gun to talk about playoffs when it's literally the first week of September, but your worst case scenario of Chris Jones not playing for you happened. You lost a game. And everybody's going to say it doesn't matter. Mahomes can win every game possible by himself. But we just saw that wasn't the case. And you can also say it's fine. The Chiefs will just make up that win later. And then another team. It took DeMar Hamlin for the Chiefs to host the championship game. It is that slim of a margin. It is that shot in the dark, electric shock, 1 in a million lightning bolt things. So get it done. I know it wasn't all the defense's fault, but this game is different if you have your defensive leader. Period. So I want to ask you this: with Chris Jones being there, what differently you think could have happened with this game? Offense scored 2 times. They only got a touchdown off. They got their next touchdown off of a pick by our offense. So, do you think one of those moments may not happen if he was out there? I think if Chris Jones is out there, it doesn't look like Nick Bolton gets murdered in zone coverage over and over and over again. That's what I think. Okay. It's been times that's one thing that they saw throughout the night as well too, that the linebackers had to play back a little bit more just because they were moving up, and then they were able to take advantage and get behind them, so they start playing back. That's when they were able to do those short yardage plays as well too, get it to a guy, have them get those couple yards extra, like you said with Jamar Gibbs, and that gave them an advantage right there. Now, I would say we were able to get enough stops though, and Mike Dana balled out. He had a great game. He did. He was able to get that sack. And then Karlaftis, he had a couple batted balls as well, too. And I saw a couple flashes from Felix as well. He's definitely a great speed rusher. There was times where he got Jared Goff flustered and out the pocket. And what was that one freaking play where all 5 Detroit offensive linemen just fall to the ground? And then we still bat the pass down, man. What play is that? I think that was supposed to be a quick screen to either Reynolds or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
They were trying to get it out to someone quick, but George Karlaftis just played it well, got his hands on the back of his shoulder pads, and then once he threw the ball, Jared Goff didn't throw it as high, so he was able to just get up and then batted it down. And then Justin Reed had a great play as well, too, at the end of the game. That's what I'm saying. The defense made the stops that they needed to make. All we had to do was capitalize.
Or they got lucky on the fumble that actually was turned over, and then a couple fumbles that they just dropped on their own. So we knew that it might take something like that, and they happened, but they still couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough, but if anything, this was a team loss for sure. I think both sides of the ball could have probably did a little bit more to get a better outcome. Of course, offensively, we just needed the wide receivers to catch the ball, put ourselves in good positions, even going downfield. You make a couple of those catches, and maybe we do get stopped, but at least we can get a field goal because at the same time, our defense were getting the stops that were needed, and all we needed was one more field goal to go ahead of them.
Yep.
Drive downfield, kill the clock. Kick it.
Yep.
But wins the game. We could have had that going. But
it was pretty much a stalemate, and then they got the momentum with that, and then they never let it go. And Mahomes was trying to manufacture something, and
this is great. I said the Lions will score 21 points. I just expected the Chiefs to probably do a lot better on offense and get 38. So I got one, but I failed on the other. However, seeing it, I can see us working with what we have, though. I can see something. Play calling has to get a lot better. We can't be as conservative. I don't want to go back to that, and I hope we don't see that the next game. Because if I see that the next game, then that's when I'm going to actually start questioning Nagy a little bit. Because this is moments we saw when he had Alex Smith over here as well, too, before he went over to the Bears. And we honestly saw the same things with the Bears as well, too. With their play calling. Now, you have the best quarterback in the world. I'm not saying we need to sling it all the time because there's been times that we saw throughout the game, Mahomes was getting it right to his receivers. He got it to Justin Rossen when he did somewhat of that route Tyreek did in the Super Bowl. And then also we have one as well, too, where MVS, he was doing somewhat of a post, but he started coming back to the ball. So it was like, I would say it was more of like a curl route, and he tipped it right to him. He knew exactly where he was going to be, and it looks like he had that connection. I just need to see that consistently throughout the entire game.
Right.
And then we'll be a lot better.
Right. Yeah. I think that's my biggest gripe is Marquez. He flashed for a couple plays and then disappeared. Justin Watson gets his play, and then they don't give it to him again. No Gray finds his space, gets open, and then nothing. So if you're going to use these weapons, then they need to prove themselves and keep featuring them. Yeah. If they can't be that type of guy, then you have the wrong guys on your roster. If you expect them all to be like Travis Kelce and that's your standard, then you need to get guys who can fit that standard.
And I think they wanted that guy in I think it was Dalton Kincaid who went over to the Bills. They wanted him or either that guy Myers. And I felt like they felt those guys were the one that resembled Kelce the most, and they could see them flourish in that offense. So if they were able to fall to us, I think they would pick them up, opposed to probably Felix at the end. However, I'm still okay with what we did in the first round and then what we did in the later rounds as well. It's just we need this to just culminate and come together. We just need to figure out the issue, which we already know the issue is the drop passes. We just need to catch the ball. And at times, when we in our short yardage game, have better play calling. If you're running the ball, if it's 2nd and 1 and 2nd and 2, go ahead and run it with Pacheco or Clyde. Get those additional yards. Extend the drive. Let's reset the downs. Let's go over again. Now we can work some in the pass game. Okay, we get a couple yards, probably off a quick pass. Maybe we get a drop. Okay, let's go back to the running game. Let's get these guys involved, have them churning and going, because at the end of the day, we knew what we didn't have. All we had to do was adjust offensively.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we had to do.
So Brett Veach is already on the phone calling all the NFL teams saying, what can I have for your first round pick? I'm getting Brock Bowers next year. I don't care what it takes. I'm getting him. Him and Travis for 2 years is unstoppable. And then he takes over for Travis when he says goodbye. He already called it. We're 4 tight ends. That's how we're gonna beat every team now. We're going heavy set, but heavy to throw, because that's Andy Reid's MO. Get some heavy boys and throw it to them.
Man, it was tough. But overall, so I think we really touched most of the game, a lot of that. What was the experience like? How was it, those final moments of the game? I know Arrowhead, as the Chiefs fans, they were very quiet.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, I got to go on a tangent first before I describe all that, because literally the guy next to me wanted to fight me, and I am not that confrontational. So I'll be like, okay, punch me. Go for it. Like, not in a threatening manner or anything like that. Just like, okay, prove yourself. So he starts being a dick to the dudes in front of him. And then, so these are like 4-year-old dads, right?
Yeah.
Bad dudes. They seen some stuff. You probably don't want to provoke them too much. Well,
yeah,
that's what he did. And 2 seconds later, this guy has a hand around his throat, sitting in his chair, and then just kind of push you up the stairs. See you later. You lost. Get out of here. So that was going on during about like mid-third to like early fourth. So like the fumble recovery by the defense was like, it did not get to notice that very much. So yeah, it was very chaotic next to me, and trying to get back into the game was a little tough. I'll have to send you the World Star hip hop clips of this fight so you can enjoy it with your own eyes. But besides that, it was pretty good. I made the comment to Shannon before we walked in that when we're playing these Midwestern teams like a Detroit, a Pittsburgh, an Indy, a Cincy, like any of these teams that are, not that far off, they're going to have a lot of fans show up, which there were. It filled pretty early, and then as the game actually started, you saw more and more red filter in.
Yeah.
But they were ready, and they were loud and pumped. They got kind of quiet when their team was failing. But once they thought they had the game, they started talking just like every other fan base. So as long as you're not a rude, I'm good with you. You can cheer on your team as much as you want, and then I can look back and say when something doesn't work out in your favor, just like you can look at me and say the same. That's fun.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I've always been that type of person, man. Like, hey, we lost a game. I'm gonna just chill out for a minute. Might chill on social media for a while. But if you talking crazy and you're not making sense with what you're saying, it's like, now I gotta respond and put my 2 cents into it. Mm-hmm. But hey, talk your trash. Of course, if it's in a respectful manner, we all good, because we all do the same thing as well. And I'm always big on that respect stuff as well, too. So I try to not do too much. And especially with the position we in right now, how we doing this as fans, providing this type of content. I don't want, you don't want to really shy people away. You want to like have that great personality. And I'm really a cool person. So I'm glad that you did that. You stay positive. Like, all right, bro, if you're going to do it, do it. But if not, hey, it's cool. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm thinking next time I go, I might try to use our shows as like, I guess bait, because I'm going to try to go up to places and be like, hey, my podcast is ranking the top tailgates here. So
yeah,
just open enrollment, guys. Just tell me where to go. and I'll stop by every single one. I'll get you on video. I'll let you say your what's up, and then maybe one of my other episodes is just here's my slideshow of all the cool dudes I met.
That'd be cool. Like get a clip, like get a video of everybody saying something, whatever. We can generate a clip for it to play on Red Kingdom. They'd probably be like, hey, that's what's up. So that's cool.
Right. Like after a year of this, I'll go from like just sitting in my car, not talking to anybody, to like immediately getting there. Hey, how's it going? You got, oh no, it's you. Get me out of my shell. It already has with my screaming, which, you know, my voice isn't too bad. It's a little scraggly. But I felt it after that first like quarter and a little bit. It's amazing how fast the nonstop, the back of your throat just starts to get a little bit. It doesn't even take long.
Let me see. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, this is the first L in the season for the Chiefs. Unfortunately, it was on banner night, opening night, season opener.
Hey, you called it though. You said the worst thing that could happen is we're New England in 2017, and we still go to and win the Super Bowl right after that. So
that's what we hoping.
If that's what it takes, if I had to go sit there and experience that, so it could happen. I did my part.
For sure. Exactly. I'm okay with it. At this point right now, people gonna be mad. Like, hey, I'm gonna let them know exactly like this. Maybe we can have that New England effect. We have it. We come back from winning the Super Bowl. It's banner night. Take the first L, but we come back strong after that. Still win the division. Still able to go to the playoffs. Still go to the Super Bowl, and maybe we can do it back to back. But I feel like I think management they're going to be very well aware of what's going on. I think they're definitely going to start trying to figure something out with Chris Jones as soon as possible. I don't think they're going to just go out there and do the worst possible deal, but I think they're going to be like, hey, so where do we got to get to? Where can we both have a common compromise to where we can get to, and then we can get you back out there. And then for Travis Kelce, I still don't want them to rush him out there. I still don't want them to be impatient. However, I think he's going to be very impatient, and
I think he was already trying to fight his way on the field right now, and I think there's no doubt he plays next week. 10 days, plenty,
enough time. He's gonna be working with Rick Burkholder and all those other guys on the training staff to really get his body back in that condition. Because him being out there, I think we can still. I still think they could have had a great game if they caught the ball. That's plain, flat out simple. But once he get out there, of course, Patrick Mahomes get his safety blanket back. But also he start opening up those other guys as well too. And he's that other motivator on that offense besides Patrick Mahomes that, you know, he gets people riled up. He has that fire and that emotion. And with him not being able to play out there, I know when I was looking at his facial expressions throughout his time out on the sideline, you can tell he was frustrated at moments. He put his towel over his head when we were able to convert. He was like, bro, you can tell he was like, I know if I was out there, it could have been a different story.
Right. All right. So I'll give my last couple cents and then can transition out of here. So first point about Chris Jones. So as much as we want this game to matter for it, the defense gave up 14 points. I mean,
for real.
We said this is going to be an offensive shootout, and they couldn't combine for 42 points. And we thought one team would score 40 by themselves. So the defense did what they could to stop the bleeding. Having Chris Jones back would help tremendously, but I'm not going to undersell how well the others did, at least in his absence. And Spagnuolo had a plan. It didn't work perfectly. It wasn't a shutout. Couldn't have won 20-0. But you said they did their part. They got stops. They forced things when they needed to. So I can't blame any of that on the lack of Chris Jones. And I mean, Nick Bosa just got $34 million a year. He beat Aaron Donald, and we think that the Katz brothers are not like rubbing their palms, thinking, "Oh, Chris, we're gonna get you so much more than we thought before." Like,
yeah, don't rub your hands and think that you about to really get more than that. I'm sorry, and I've been telling people that the entire time. Nick Bosa, first of all, he was still on his rookie contract. He got defensive rookie of the year, and then he got defensive player of the year.
yep.
He succeeded every accolade or stat that he needed to within that contract. He earned that money, and we all know he's one of the best defensive ends in the league right now in the edge rusher, and that's the market for them as well too. I mean, it was like around that 30 mil mark already, 28 mil plus, but he was able to get up there. Of course, he was going to touch it. And the 49ers do not shy away with handing out money like that. So,
right. Yep. They have like the first to sixth highest paid guys at nearly every position important. All right. So my other point I'm going to make is as bad as the receivers played today, especially Tony, I'm tired of people already flaming him for that game. The Chiefs do not win Super Bowl 57 without Kadarius Toney punt return. So we paid what we did in draft picks. We got a Super Bowl out of it. We expect him to be more, but we got what we needed out of him. So he's got to pass, all right? And I heard y'all booing him after he dropped that. And I know the struggle. But you cannot like crap on dudes when they're down like that. If you think you can go to your job and have someone crap on you while you're doing your job and do a better job after being crapped on, you're a liar. So we said our piece. We said they got to work on it, but this is the group we got. Mike Evans, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's asking for Chris Jones to work because without him, there's no money. So this is your group, guys. We were hyped about it all summer when there was nobody to play defense against them. Now they got adversity. We know this team can stand up in the face of adversity. They can overcome challenges like this and win the games. It didn't work out today, but we got 16 more chances.
We'll see what we can do with them. Hopefully, we can do more than what we did tonight. That's all I'm hoping for. If we can have a different outing the next games down the road, then I'm all for it. But yeah, I would just say, honestly, it's just for Kadarius Toney, just don't go on Twitter tonight, bro.
Yep.
Don't go on Twitter tonight.
Sky Moore, don't go on Twitter.
Just don't pay attention to social media for a week.
Yep.
Giants fans are about to go, wow. You should have never. Don't entertain them. You was going at it with all off season. They got you on this one, brother. We got you on this one, brother. Let it go.
Yep.
Let it go.
Yep. You over here now. Focus where you at. I mean, it seemed like they were featuring Clyde early, and we're only going to Pacheco in like emergency or like very slim reasons. And then if it was third down, it was the McKinnon show.
Yeah, they was using him when they was using Pacheco when they needed a spark, and especially when he had that run throughout that drive. But I think, and I talked about this before already too. If Clyde wasn't going to be traded, he was going to be featured in this offense regardless. I think they were comfortable with him regardless of how we feel about him. He must understand the scheme, which we know he do, and then we know moments he has flashes where he has solid games as well too. So I think just the comfort with him being out there and just having that relationship with Mahomes as well too, even though Pacheco built that already, but we saw Pacheco kind of have a slight injury early in that game as well too, even though he came back out.
Yep.
So we know once things like that happen, Reed can definitely get cautious, and he's gonna use that precaution just to avoid further injury for those type of guys. And I saw you say Tony and Scott Moore need to turn off comments on everything. Yeah, most definitely. Just let it go. And honestly, I think Tony already has it set up like that already too. So he just be getting a lot of DMs and he be arguing with people like that. But when you see a post, it doesn't even give you an option to even comment under his stuff. So we know he turned off the comments.
Yep.
Just don't look at them quotes.
No. And hey, if Clyde was good at catching the ball, then why hasn't he shined in Andy Reid's offense the last 4 years so far? I mean,
well,
he's great at it, but why doesn't Andy Reid think that?
Well, he has had his moments in the screen game. It's just Andy Reid. He dealt with injury as well too. I mean, we saw he was not available a lot of times, and then you saw last year Pacheco was able to take over after week 6, and then of course we had McKinnon as well. So from there, it was just he wasn't getting time out there like that. I think the problem that people have with Clyde is in those runs down situations. We don't like how he run into the pal. You're very small. Use your size like a Darren Sproles, even a Mark Graham as well too, who's very low. You got to maneuver, and you're supposed to be a guy we expect for you to break tackles and try to get
bowling ball shape, man.
Yeah,
get small and
yeah. That's pretty much it. Like, we just get tired when he does that. However, when he's in open space, he can get a first down. I do like what he's able to provide in that sense. It's just Reed needs to, he has to adjust in moments to where, okay, they're not trying to let me do anything downfield. They're actually, our receivers not getting any separation as well either. Let's go ahead and get our running backs involved in this pass game. Yep. That way we can open up the offense for everybody.
Yep. I was thinking that whole time, you see what's happening and you're not making this like the Jerick McKinnon game plan. Like the most dependable guy on your team. Dude made a tremendous catch in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, he's your safety blanket, and you needed that, and you weren't using it. So if today's game was any indication, yes, Travis Kelce is 1, and then your running backs are 2. And that's who you need to focus your targets on and getting some.
Wide receivers don't have to earn back their trust.
Correct. So they don't get the targets. They got to do the hard thing. They don't get the easy, your completion's right here and you got this wide open lane. No, like, you got to earn that again.
I will say Rashee Rice, he's actually going to have a chance to really get involved early in the offense, because just simply, even though he had that drop pass right and he was able to get that touchdown right afterwards, I've seen moments in the offense where he's that guy that they like running across that middle. And, it seems like he's been effective as well, too. And he gets open as well. He need to focus on just bringing in the ball, catch it, then go for it.
Yep.
Catch it, then go for it. Once your hands get it together, all right, now you can do a little bit more after that. Because he is someone who's great after the catch as well, too. That's why he had 1,400 yards when he was at SMU as well. So, I mean, right now, they need to really just focus on what they did wrong. I'm sure that wide receiver room, they're probably going to be texting each other all night saying how poorly that they played and how they want to really change that going forward as well too. So really, I think we got the weapons. We just need them to get that confidence, and that way we can go in this season and be perfect and be fine. But yeah, once Travis is back, I think that's when you'll start seeing us, be a lot more effective on the offensive side of the ball. But if he's not even playing against Jacksonville next week, I want to see an efficient game. I want to see Mahomes get the ball, hit the ball out of his hands early, get it to them quick, get them involved in that sense. And then as the game goes on, we can get them deeper into the route tree. We can give them more opportunities where they can have a chance to beat man-on-man coverage. We can have them go in a vert route where they have man-on-man coverage and Mahomes just throw it up, and hopefully one of those guys can win in that jump ball situation and give them opportunities like that. Also, hopefully this is a chance for Justin Ross to move up as well too, and have some reps as well and be able to showcase his ability, because this is someone they said who has that first round talent, right? So with our guys not stepping up tonight and they had a very slow game and a slow outing, hey, if I see something in Jacksonville to where he sneak in, have 20 plus snaps, say he get like 7-8 receptions going for 90 yards and a touchdown, all right. Gonna sneak up on that depth chart. And those guys that we were giving a chance because he was somebody coming off an injury and he started taking those reps from you, Chiefs Kingdom gonna change on you very quickly, and it's gonna be the Justin Ross show going on with Travis Kelce.
All right, I'm gonna answer this guy's question, and here's the list, buddy. Here's the list of supposed available wide receivers that you could get right now off the street if you wanted him. Kenny Golladay, Julio Jones at his age, T.Y. Hilton at his age, Jarvis Landry, good old Sammy Watkins. Bring him back. We know he's very dependable and will catch everything, and we won't ever get mad at him, and he won't miss games. Yeah. So
you said Sammy Watkins?
Yes, Sammy Watkins. If the price was right, but I don't think it's going to amount in anything better than what we've already seen.
Clinton, hey, if I see the same outing again, hey, boy, one year, two. I mean, can you play 8 games, bro? Can you play 8 games, bro?
What draft picks would it take to bring back Tyreek Hill? How many?
Oh, yeah, that's over. That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
It's sailed. It's never coming back. You said somebody said Justin Ross had the talent of AJ Green. I think it was Dan Odin said it. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see some outrageous comparisons. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
But he is a phenomenal receiver, though. It's just we gotta treat him like we somewhat treated Sammy, just because he is coming off of those big injuries and he sat out a year. So we have to give him time. And I just think Andy Reid don't want to rush the process with him. I don't think he want to put him to the point to where he goes back to where he was before, because we saw in the preseason, it was some times where he did make some phenomenal plays. And honestly, anything that hits his hands, he catches. He caught one a day, and it was only one catch. So my thing is, if it just comes to the point to where they feel like, hey, we just need somebody out there to catch the ball, we know the rest of the wide receivers can do the rest. If he's that guy, it's like he's sure-handed, he's going to get them reps. And Mahomes is going to build that relationship with him. And then that's somebody who's going to move down on the depth chart. And you know who I think it could be? Because I think we're gonna have to run Kadarius Toney down until he just does something that it's just like, okay, this is very consistent and we don't like it. But Sky Moore, this is somebody who it was supposed to be a big year from him. And if we're going to be honest, Rashee Rice got his first touchdown before Sky Moore even got his first touchdown in the league.
That's right. And to that point, Rashee Rice is a first-year rookie, still getting a lot of first-team snaps, like was starting in a lot of cases, and was one of the only 3 receivers on the field ahead of Justin Ross, ahead of who else was ahead of?
You said MVS, if you're talking about other wide receivers.
Sky Moore was on the field a lot and never got it. Justin Watson was on occasionally.
Yeah.
And then it was Rashee Rice. So it was like those main 3. Richie James was really only on like slot or like fake jet screen and didn't actually give it to him. So
they did a lot of double tight end sets as well too.
They sure did. Yep. They focused the first quarter made it look like Noah Gray was about to be just the star of the game, and then just Never found him again. But I said he was open a lot. So hopefully the film shows that.
Should we have kept Ish Smith?
Yeah, that would have done it. Just another wide receiver on the field to get occupied by space, and then would have still had Mahomes running for the edge every single time.
But honestly, we've been talking a lot about the wide receivers right now. I do want to just get, regardless, great game from the O-line, though.
Yes.
That's the cleanest I really saw Mahomes in a long time, and sometimes he didn't even know what to do with a pocket like that. Donovan Smith, he had that one holding penalty this game, and Chris Collinsworth kind of tried to get him on that, saying, this is something you had a problem last year with Tom Brady. Like, bro, this is first penalty of the game. He's been killing our guy from Kansas City the whole game, Charles Harris, out of Lincoln High School. He's been dogging him out, mauling. Like,
yep,
real. So it's just I think Mahomes, he's gonna have to get it together. Like, he's gonna have to start working out of that pocket and getting comfortable. Hey man, if you're going through your progressions and everybody not open, I understand you like to use your feet in moments to where you want to create a play. However, say you're starting at the 25 and you're going downfield. Let's just be methodical. Let's just get it to the open guy. Let's get it to our flats. Let them work the field like that. And then when we have opportunities to where you do have to get out the pocket and you can utilize that skill set, then you can go for it. But let's work on becoming a better pocket passer, really utilizing what you have out there. This is everybody who was complaining about us always having speed and not those traditional wide receivers. This is what it looks like when you have that.
And they weren't even fast enough to get past zone coverage either. The biggest down the field play was a pass interference that wasn't caught.
And that was
other than that, I did not see a ball travel more than 30 yards in the air. So if that's the game, then Andy, you better be scheming up a lot of really good yak plays, because you know that your O-line can handle it for however max amount of time you're asking for. So you better be scheming some guys open and letting them be wide open. So if they drop it, then it's even more obvious what's going on. Not scared and somebody's going to hit it out of you.
The challenge for the Chiefs this season is, are they going to be able to adjust from the regular offense that they were used to running when they had fast guys like Tyreek Hill, and then you had some other guys as well too. Now, you did good last year with Juju Smith-Schuster. Then you had MVS as well too, and then you got Tony later on in the year. But now you have these receivers right now to where, okay, we're going to have to figure out this on the fly. So this is going to be a year of adjustments. However, we have a talent to where we can still be a playoff team.
Yes.
So I'm fine with that. We're just going to need to figure out on games to where, okay, y'all kind of getting us in the receiving game. Y'all not letting us get really open as much. We're not able to really dial anything downfield. Let's go ahead and run the ball a lot more. Let's go ahead and get our running backs out there. Let's try to get 4 to 5 yards to carry if possible. Let's try to wear it down that opposing defensive line, and then let's hopefully we can open something up on the back end as well too. We gotta do it that way.
You've heard me root for that, but I think anybody who's watched Andy Reid as their head coach for the entirety of his National Football League career, you'll keep waiting. You'll be as old as Andy Reid is right now before he changes and becomes a run first, run heavy coach. So cool, Andy. That's your thing. Do some really cool screens. Do some bubble screen over here. Quick slants. I mean, God, the first touchdown of Patrick Mahomes' career was, boop, here you go, Tyreek. You do the rest.
Exactly. But yeah, it looks like press conferences is going on right now. Pat looked like he just had his notification came out. He said he remains to have trust in Tony. So it looks like they're gonna go into practice this week You probably gonna get him involved early, really start gaining that connection with him, throwing him the ball a lot more. You'll probably see throughout their team drills and when they're doing their full 22 where they have 11 guys on both sides. I'm sure he's gonna try to dial it up and practice on working with him in those moments to where, hey, you're gonna need to catch the ball in traffic. But really, when you look at the times he dropped the ball, it seems like it wasn't a lot of effort, or it was like he just wasn't feeling comfortable. So hopefully it's not something with injury where he feels like, he feels a little fragile. Hopefully it's not that. But yeah, I'm glad it was this game. Please. Now going forward, let's have a 10 catch game with 100 plus yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's shut up all those haters that you have out there.
Yep. I'm upset. I was, in the beginning of this, we were talking about how bad the wide receivers are, blah, blah, blah. That's not what we were saying, but that's how it's going to be reinterpreted.
Yeah.
But Mahomes says that he thinks his loss is good, and he's one of those kind of guys that takes that competitive edge, and like Andy Reid realizes the benefit in that struggle. And they would have rather struggled now in September than be struggling just now struggling in January or February at the worst time.
Yeah.
So, the lights might have been too bright for some of them, and a lot of expectations put on some others who weren't able to meet those expectations first week. But the hope is that you got it out of your system.
Yeah, exactly.
The hope is that okay, we're going to go back. Y'all don't get the day off tomorrow or Monday. Right. Y'all got your butt whooped. So Andy's going to bring you back into the room, and we're going to all figure out who all messed up and what we can do to get better, him included. He said that the coaches should be better and his game plan should be better. And it's a team effort. So Mahomes could have made some better throws. The receivers could have dropped less passes. We could have got an extra sack, could have got any sort of cornerback play at all. So just hold out. Sucks. We have to sit around for 10 days and stew. But for the viewing people and for the non-viewing people listening to this doesn't change. This doesn't change. Okay, guys? We still won the Super Bowl last year, and we still hung a banner. So it's a bitter taste in our mouth. But remember how sweet that nectar tasted 7 months ago. That's it.
Right. And my last little say about this as well, too, and I'll let it go, and I know we want to get out of here soon, but we had that slow start in 2021. Right after the year we lost that Super Bowl, and we started off, I believe, the season 1-2. We won that first game of the season, then we lost 2 in a row, and then we were able to get it together, and then we was able to finish the season, still win the division, and then still be one of the top seeded teams in the AFC. That's still possible.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, people are Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody's out for blood. That's how it's going to be.
And they all think they have the blueprint now because they saw it work one
game. We got
game.
punched in the first round, but we still got more rounds to go.
That's right. This is a 4 quarters team. If you leave a Chiefs game because they're losing in the first quarter, then you haven't watched enough of this team. So
yeah, we're not talking about the early 2000s. We in the Mahomes era now.
That's right.
So anything goes.
Thank you for joining us in a very bittersweet first edition of the Red Kingdom Media Live post-game show. We will be back for one of these 10 days from now on September the 17th. And let's hope that comes after a Jaguars defeat and a Chiefs victory. But whether or not, and whatever happens, we will be here. So thank you all for joining us. I hope you have a great, at this point, next morning. And try to enjoy your Friday and weekend. Remember, there's other football to watch. College football is back. So the fall is here. We're transitioning, so maybe that's the issue. Maybe they were a little too much still sun and fun and summertime. They haven't quite transitioned into football season.
Yeah, they gonna get it together. They'll be all right. But hey, y'all have a good night. Go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs. Red Kingdom Media.